The nominees for Game of the Year are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
Well, YouTube, they actually did it. They put Shadow of the Erdtree into the Game of the Year running. It seems the prophecies were true. And not just Game of the Year, I've actually seen Shadow of the Erdtree nominated in a couple other categories. I haven't looked at all of the categories and all the nominations, but I know it's in a few that are with FF7 Rebirth, which is Best RPG and Best Direction. Yeah, it's a little sus, right? It seems like almost this like bidding to get Shadow of the Erdtree a bunch of awards or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I had somebody comment on the previous video we did and said that the rule's been there for a long time, or been there for years or something, that your DLC and expansions and whatever being viable for all the categories. And it's like, okay, maybe. I don't keep up with the Game Awards like that. I don't really care that much. But also, it's like, has that ever happened before? For one, has a DLC ever in the history of the Game Awards been in the running for Game of the Year? Or just any other category, too. We have a DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, in the running for Best RPG of the Year, Best Game Direction of the Year. Just talked about this with the last video a bit, but I have my thoughts and opinions on it. I disagree with it. I don't think something like a piece of DLC should be in the running for Game of the Year. You can do, like, maybe pretty much any other category, like, you know, music and narrative and things like that. That's probably fine. But Game of the Year for a DLC for a game that's like 2 years old, I mean, come the fuck on. Anyways, for Rebirth, it's nominated in 4 different categories. Obviously, Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best RPG, and also, of course, Best Score Music. It's a Final Fantasy game. So we also have the Best Performance category with Brown and White, who, of course, played Aerith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so I guess technically it's in 5 categories. Speaking of that category, I don't want to take away anything from Brown and White, because I think she does a great job as Aerith, but was she really the best performance in Rebirth? Because I still feel like that goes to Cody Christian. The Aerith in Rebirth doesn't even feel like the same Aerith that was in Remake, right? There's a completely different vibe to the character. You can go back and forth on some of these categories here, I suppose, but score music, it's a lock for Rebirth. It has to be. Like, anytime a numbered entry Final Fantasy comes out, it wins that category. Back in 2020, Remake won it. Last year, Final Fantasy 16 won it. I mean, come on, it's Final Fantasy. It's Uematsu. It better goddamn win. But obviously, Game of the Year is the big discussion here when it comes to the Game Awards. And I've been a big advocate for Rebirth all year long, that I thought it was a pretty solid chance of winning, right? There's definitely some stiff competition from what everybody says in the comments and what I've seen on social media. These are, you know, the other games that are in the running are just ones that I've not really been interested in. They're not my kind of games that I'd buy or play, right? But now you throw into the mix Shadow of the Erdtree alongside these other games that are, you know, pretty good competition for Rebirth. And I'm like, I don't know now. Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring is stupidly popular, dude. So I don't know now. I'm not 100%. I want Rebirth to win, but now I don't even know. I just feel like it'd be a very underwhelming Game of the Year, you know, just because you have these other brand new games that came out this year and they're losing to a DLC to a very popular game that came out 2 years ago. The scenario to me is just ridiculous. That's kind of the video. I just want to let you guys know that indeed Shadow of the Erdtree was in the running for Game of the Year, as we talked about in a previous video. It's kind of insane. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think is going to win Game of the Year? Anyways, that's the video. Subscribe to if you guys are new. Social works in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @davidbusiness. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.